All right. Should I open
it? Yeah. What? Oh no.
Oh, it's just this podcast can marry an architect or buy a house out on the water because it's episode 23. That's a reference to Sam Hunt's song 23. Welcome everyone to episode 23.
This dude, I was clueless. I had no idea. I'm glad you threw in this is a reference to Sam Hunt's 23.
I already apologized in advance. You knew it was coming and you knew it wasn't going to be right. But welcome everyone to episode 23 of your favorite podcast, Waves on the Shore, with myself and my lovely co-host Jaron, who is back home. He's not at college anymore. There's no longer going to be people army crawling through his door. There's not going to be people running through the hallways and screaming. It's bittersweet. It's bitter. I mean, for you, it's obviously got to be a lot more bitter. But for me, it's like, man, we're back in the old bedroom, just like old times.
Yeah. Last episode was the last episode in the old... A lot of people, I guess I never really thought about it. A lot of people thought that I had my setup like in a closet because
it looked like it. It looked like it.
It's just my room is so small and we have like open closets, no doors or anything like that, and so that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled. We'll say the room before I had a much better setup. Where you guys weren't staring at my clothes the whole time.
He's
but yeah,
back.
It's bittersweet.
He's back in the bedroom. I'm still in the same room. Shocker. Nothing has changed in my room. It's just gotten a little messier. What is? Oh, never mind. Okay. It's too late. Anyways. No, I thought I saw something, but I turned around. And I was like, no, I'm stupid. Man, I gotta get in. I apologize, listeners. I got to get in podcast mode. I'm still just sitting here talking. But we got some stuff lined up. We've got not a whole lot, but like I was saying to Jaron before, it's quality over quantity. We've got 2 albums, a single that we are going... 2 albums and a single that we are going to be going over, as well as the standard what are we listening to and who the frick to close it out. Unless you have anything else to say, Jaron, I think we can get going with these albums here.
I'm all good, man. Let's hit it.
All right. So, first up, I think we'll hit Miranda Lambert. Miranda Lambert, she dropped Palomino. What was the exact release date? It was this April 29th, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So, I could be wrong. Maybe. I forget. Man, I've fallen behind on New Music Friday, and my dates have just...
No, that's correct.
Okay.
Evan is correct.
I mean, the sky's blue. Evan's right.
It's just another
day.
All right.
I don't know why you're acting surprised that I was right. But anyways, Miranda Lambert, Palomino, 15 songs, 51 minutes, featuring some new songs, featuring some studio-treated songs that we heard on the Marfa tapes, which I freaking loved back last year. What do you think? What are you saying?
It's a good album. The albums that we're going to be covering today kind of had me just in general, I think albums this year so far have kind of been like catching me off guard or like just making me feel unexpected feelings.
I 100% get you.
Because, like, first off, I liked the Dustin Lynch album. What? And then he had a better album than Thomas Rhett, right? And then it's like, obviously Midland, who's one of my favorite bands, one of Evan's favorite bands. Midland comes out with an album, it's a good album. It's a really good album. But we'll get on that later. But I have a lot of feelings, and I've already stated it before, but I'll expand on that. And then now this Miranda Lambert album
really just snuck
up. Yeah, it's, in a lot of ways, it's kind of weird. I've had a weird listening experience with it, because the first time I listened to it, I was like, with Acting Up, the opener, I kind of wasn't vibing with it at first, and that kind of like set the tone for the whole album on my first listen, but as I've listened to it a lot more, it's an album that's grown on me a lot, which is exactly what her last album, Wildcard, did. The first time I tried to listen to it. I took a chance on it the first time when it came out, and I was like, I hate this. Like, I actually, like, didn't like it. And I think I only got, like, 2 songs in. And
I hate this.
And now
the whole thing sucks.
Yeah.
The first 2 songs were not up to standard. This, folks, is a bad album.
I just wasn't interested in continuing to listen to it. But then, who knows what happened? I don't know why my mind changed. But now Wildcard's like one of my favorite albums, like, ever.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it. And this one is kind of doing the same thing. I really like it. Like, I love the Marfa re-release, like the re-recordings, the studio recordings. But honestly, those aren't even the best songs on this album, I don't think. I mean, maybe it's because I've heard them already, and because of that, they're a little bit less intriguing.
Have that. Yeah, they don't have that, like, new factor.
Cough, cough, Midland. And then... Yeah, like, I don't know. It's hard because as I've listened to this album, there's a lot of... They feel like perfect sad boy songs to me. Like, a lot of these songs. Like, Tourist.
Tourist feels very, is so good.
Very happy, but also melancholy sometimes for some reason. Like, it's... Like, she's singing about her life. She's just a tourist. She's living life on the road. But there's, like, for at least when I listen to it, it can sound sad sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those songs that's, like... It's almost like... how do I word this? Because it's not necessarily a sad song, but it kind of has this, like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just a tourist. Almost this, like, the words aren't coming to me today, but I know what you. I mean, I think melancholy is probably the right word. It's not intentionally trying to be sad. It's trying to be content, but it comes off as a little, like, disingenuous, but not in the way that, like, the song is bad. It's the contentness that can come off as a little, like, are you content there? I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe that makes sense. Maybe I'm talking out of my
I
cheeks.
think I kind of understand what you're saying.
Hopefully you do.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
But yeah, like, as I've listened to it more, I think I've probably listened to it 5 or 6 times now. A couple of those times it's just kind of been in the background while I've been, like, doing whatever. But I've really gotten the chance to intentionally listen to it a couple times, and I know a lot of people have talked about Carousel, which is a very good song, and I think it's one of the best. But I haven't heard anybody talk about That's What Makes the Jukebox Play. And to me, that song, I think, is the best song on this album. I think it's just beautiful, man. I don't really know how else to... I love the lyrics, but I just love the sound that it has. Mm-hmm. It's sad boy. I don't know. It's like perfect sad boy country.
It's exactly what Jaron's looking for.
Yeah, and then Carousel's another great one. I'll Be Loving You, I really like. Tourist, obviously, I already said that. And the opener, like I said, when I first listened to this, I was probably less than lukewarm on it. But now, I love it. It's groovy. I just really like it. And then, out of all the re-recordings, the studio recordings, I mean, I think I like In His Arms the most. As far as, like, how they were redone.
Yeah. I get that.
The Waxahachie, however it's pronounced. I think it's Waxahachie.
I'm pretty sure it's Wax.
Yeah, that one... I mean, it's still a good song. I think it's a little... I don't know. Its production feels a little jarring to me.
Yeah, I mean... I kind of
don't think I like it as much. It's not bad. I would still listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't
I prefer
like
the... I prefer the Marfa tapes, Waxahachie for sure. But the first time... It was so cool listening to it the first time. Because I was just there like, hey... This is kind of sick. It's kind of how I felt listening to 14 Gears by Midland when it came out. Where all I'd ever known was the Adobe House version, where it's just like an acoustic version. And then you hear it kind of beefed up, and the drums come in, and the electrics and everything. It's like, hey, this is kind of sick. And that's how I felt with Waxahachie, where it's like, it's got some drums, it's got some movement to it, and I'm like, hey, it's like, it's a complete, I've never heard the song like this. It's a new, just the new spin kind of captivated me. But at the end of the day, I still think I prefer the acoustic version. However, I agree with you that, actually, no, I'm going to object. I think, maybe I'm not going to object. I think Geraldine... We just went through... What? I think Geraldine, as far as the re-recordings go, I think that one makes the most sense because just with the whole chorus, like, Geraldine, all that stuff, right?
It feels a little bit more rocky.
Exactly. It feels like it needs that... Yeah. It needs those drums. It needs those guitars pushing along with it. But at the same time, there is something really fun about the Marfa Tapes version, just sitting around a campfire and singing the same song. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think I generally prefer the Marfa Tapes versions of the songs that were re-recorded. However, that's probably just because I've had way more time to digest them, and it's originally what I fell in love with. Yeah, I'm probably just biased towards the original. But, like, I still think they're great songs. I don't think any of them were like ruined by the production by any means. I still think they were all done really well. And overall with the album, I like it. Like it's one of those albums that I don't, as far as objective criticisms, I don't really have any. It's not like I have problems with it. I guess, and there are some great moments, like you said, with Carousel. I mean,
what would be your favorite song on this album?
My favorite.
If you could think of one.
If I could think of one. I mean, I feel like I'd want to go of the new ones because, like, I'm definitely biased
out of the new ones.
Or else I'd probably end up going Waxahachie. But, man, I really like Tourist. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if that's a basic answer, but
no, that's a good one.
That's the one I've kind of been going back to the most. That's the one that stuck out to me the most. Overall, I think it's a really good album. None of it like floored me. I was like, oh my gosh, but I think it's a really good front to back album with a lot of cool moments.
Have we talked about Music City Queen?
No, we haven't.
I love that one. I think it's just a really, out of all the songs I know Geraldine's also supposed to be like a super fun song, but I think Music City Queen succeeds. Jeez, I like that title, and saying the word succeeds after that just made me like my brain shut down. that song, I think it does a really good job of just having fun and just being this groovy jam. I love the B-52s, like just kind of coming in and chiming in, and like at one point there's like they're just like commenting on what Miranda's singing about. Yeah. I love it actually. I really like it.
It's a cool little feature.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm real quick before we move on. Yeah. How does this album stack up to Wild Card for you? I'm curious.
Ooh.
Because the only reason I ask is because I feel like when listening to this album, there's not really a song that I don't like. But with Wild Card, I'm not a huge fan of the song Fire Escape on that album.
Yeah.
But I like every other song. So in a way but I also think that maybe I might like Wild Card more, but I still have to give this one time probably.
Yeah, it's always tough. When you've had so much more time with one of the albums. I think I do agree with you in the sense that I feel like Palomino's a slightly more consistent listen in terms of like just every song liking. There's no like ones I'm like, I'd kind of skip that. But and I mean,
going back and looking at Wild Card's track list, I'm reminded that there's a lot of bangers on here.
Yeah, I was just looking over it too. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Tequila Does, Pretty Bitchin', bro. Bluebird, Locomotive, Way Too Pretty for Piz.
I'm just gonna come out and say I'm taking the Marfa Tapes over both. But if I had to choose between Palomino and Wild. I feel like Wildcard. I think Wildcard has a bit more punch. Songs like Tequila does and whatnot. And it all comes out in the wash. It's a big single, but I still love that song. I think I'm gonna go Wildcard.
Palomino feels more tame to me.
What?
I don't know if that makes sense. Like I said that I think Palomino feels more tame to me.
Oh, definitely.
Like less. Sometimes Wildcard can be a little bit in your face with songs like Pretty Bitchin' or Holy Water or Locomotive.
Yeah.
I feel like, but you never. I feel like you never really get a super rowdy song except for maybe Geraldine.
I was just gonna say.
But so it's a little bit more. It is a little bit more sad boy, I think. But yeah, it's a really good album.
Check it out.
It's hard for me to like give it a rating, but it's a great. I would say it's a great album. Not perfect, but no complaints either, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Quick transition. For listeners, nothing changed for you. For viewers, however, now you can see our faces. Did not realize until just now that I was not recording my screen. So up until this point, viewers, you have not been viewing anything. You're not even a viewer. You are a listener. And listeners completely ignore this because nothing changes for you if you're listening in a car or whatnot. However, with that out of the way, we are going to move on to the second album we are going to go over in this video. And that, of course, is the new Midland album, The Last Resort, Greetings From. I'm still not behind that title. Why is it not Greetings From The Last Resort or just The Last Resort?
Yeah, I don't... That's one of the couple things that bothers me about this album.
It just looks The Last Resort, Greetings From. What do you mean? Why? Why?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. They're trying to be extra. Midland's always extra.
Yeah, they're trying to be all fancy and like.
Yeah.
But great album, if I do say so myself. We're kind of diving right in, but this is obviously. It's Midland's first full studio album since Let It Roll in 2019. Granted, they had the Sonic Ranch and, The Last Resort EP, so it's tough. We only got 5 new songs when the album actually came out. To the point where, I knew it was coming up, but I completely forgot the album was actually dropping till Thursday night. I saw one of the members post, oh, our new album comes out tonight. And I'm like, shoot, it does. I don't know, how, 40% of your album drops tonight because everything else has been out for so darn long. But rollout, choice decisions aside, all of that. If you subtract all of that, I think this is a stellar album. But I will let you go first because I'm interested to hear what you say, and my review's already up. So,
okay.
My thoughts are kind of out there.
Yeah, back to what I was saying earlier about albums catching me off guard or just making me feel weird or whatever. I really, really like this album, but there's a couple things that I feel like there's a couple caveats that prevent me from feeling as good as I could. Maybe. This is a really good album. I'm also a Midland fan. I don't want to make it seem like
Jaron hates Midland so much, man. He's a hater.
That's a lie. But like Evan said earlier, I hate the rollout, man. I hate it because, when it was releasing, look, bro, on Friday when this album came out, I was like, I feel like something came out today, and then it didn't. It took me until 8 p.m. to be like, oh wait, the Midland album came out. Yeah, and then I'm listening to it, and every time I listen to this album, it feels weird because the songs from the EP will come on, and I'll be like, oh yeah, these are the songs from the EP. And so, but then these other songs play, and then I'm like, it just feels weird to me. I don't know. I'm still in this headspace that these 5 songs belong on the EP.
I completely agree.
And on top of that, I've already heard Long Neck Way to Go and The Last Resort. And if I'm being honest, most of the other 5 songs, 4 of the 5 songs that we hadn't heard yet were the weakest ones, in my opinion. They're not bad, But and
I
think
wouldn't
we'd
necessarily argue. I think the EP
the only
stretch is the strongest stretch on the album.
Yeah, the only one that I think is not that isn't
Say it.
What lower peer is Life Ain't
Yeah.
Fair. Life Ain't Fair is really good. I think King of Saturday Night is probably the worst one on this album. I'm not saying it's trash, but I like it when Jess and who's the other? Jess
Cameron.
And who's the other guy? Cameron. I like it when Jess and Cameron have their own songs. I do. But King of Saturday Night,
it feels kind of,
I don't know. It feels weird.
It doesn't feel like a Midland song.
I guess.
That was my main criticism of the song was like there's no there's no character to it. It just feels like an imitation of an Eagles song. Yeah. You can't even recognize it's Cam singing, which is different because like on Let It Roll, I think two of the strongest moments were Lost in the Night and Roll Away. And granted,
Roll Away is such a good
it's so
song.
good
Yeah.
when
really
it stops, but then the drums come back in at the end and you get the full. It's like
Yep.
But and Jess still delivered big time with his moment on this album. But Cameron, I think, is it the worst on the album? I don't know why. Bury Me in Blue Jeans just hasn't stuck with me. Like I still feel like it. I still think it feels like a Thomas Rhett song in a way. It just feels the least interesting of the ones here. The least they have the least character to them. But
sure,
I agree. I think the EP and I think the songs that are on the EP are really good. I gave the EP an incredibly high score when it came out because I do think those 5 songs are fantastic.
Those 5 songs are fantastic, though.
But
they are.
That's
whole what makes me mad. It makes me mad that we had. I just don't get it. Please stop doing this crap.
I know it's such a stark difference because I can remember, so vividly waiting for the Let It Roll album in 2019. I can remember everything that happened that night. I remember it was announced in March, and I was like, bro, August 22nd or whenever it came out. It's that day's never gonna happen. But then it was so hype. It was the first time I stayed up till midnight to listen to an album. But then you fast forward to the next Midland album, and it's I completely forgot it was even coming out until 3 hours before it came out. And then I went to bed because I was I got school tomorrow. I'm not staying up to listen to 5 songs. But it's weird, man. I really want to vent my thoughts in a video, and I will at some point.
I don't know. To me, so far as far as artists rolling out albums, this one has been the worst offense, at least in my eyes. I know Cody Johnson released half of his album.
This is weird, man. But you still had 9 new songs.
But you still had 9 new songs, and I think 9 of he didn't. The thing is, he also didn't release all of his best songs.
That's the other thing, right? You still got absolute heaters when the album actually came out.
Yeah, are you freaking kidding me?
And it's not that the Midland songs are bad. I wouldn't have given the album a 9 out of 10 if I thought they dropped 5 duds on an album. But they don't outshine the other moments. I still, when I go to that album, unless I'm listening to the whole thing, I'm still gonna go to that stretch that includes the EP songs. Because I think they are absolutely stellar. But Midland album, I think it's really good. I like the concept. I like the whole building the environment up and the whole resort theme. I really like it. I think it came together really well. I think it's very fitting for Midland because they're kind of just these goofy guys from, South. I almost said South Troll, but Central South Texas area.
South Troll.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
But anything else you want to say on the Midland album?
Yeah, I do want to say one more thing. I think we kind of crapped on King of Saturday Night a lot. It's not a horrible song, and it's not bad because Cameron does the vocals. Yeah, I know he can do well on vocals.
That's not the problem.
It's just Yeah, it's just a little weird. I don't know.
It's a bit out there.
I really do like this album. It's just I could definitely see myself liking it a lot more. I think part of it's just, I don't know. It just, this
almost like a
goes
bitterness
to show that
towards it.
Marketing and like rollout and all this other stuff really does have an effect on.
Yeah, it's almost like this pent
perception.
up like bitterness towards the album simply because of the way it's been rolled out. Like, even myself, I was pretty annoyed, and so it's like when the album came out, it's like, this is a really good album, but like, I almost have this like internal like disapproval simply because I wasn't excited. Like, I'm always excited for new Midland music, but this album, I was just kind of like deflated. It's like,
yeah.
Like, what, are you going to drop like 2 more pre-releases? Like, does the entire album, like the last song, come out one day? Like, imagine if you got like a 12-song album, 10 are already out, and it's like, hey, my new album comes out in a month, and it's like, no, 2 songs come out.
You just reminded me of something that Luke Combs said.
I was gonna save this for my bro. Do we want to talk about this? Because I was gonna save this for my video I do on album rollouts. And
talk about it in your video. Like,
no. Like, because I'm still gonna use it. But if you want to talk about that here, I'm more than happy to critique this.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. I was gonna tell you we'll still talk about it, and you can just talk about it in your video.
Yeah. What? Okay, no. Let me read this out. I saved it. I think I screenshotted it.
I hated it. I don't.
And I love,
like, bruh.
Bro, I love Luke Combs, right? Great artist. He's got a lot of great music. Follows me on Instagram too, which is like still crazy. But he posted this thing.
Bro.
And here's what it says.
It made me kind of upset.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what do you mean?
Like, this dude's trying to justify releasing half of an album before it comes out.
Here's what he said.
Basically.
Crazy thing is, I've only ever posted about or played live 6 of the 12 songs on the new album. So y'all have not heard half of the songs.
Like,
yes?
That's a
the problem is we've heard half of the songs.
Bruh, a year ago, normal album behavior was that we'd only heard 2 or 3 songs on a 14-track album.
And now it's weird that we have only heard half of it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And now it's a privilege that we haven't heard 8 tracks yet. Like, bro, please stop. Don't.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, you guys haven't heard the whole album yet. Like, no, we haven't. Because it doesn't come out yet. June 24th it comes out. Okay? Like,
oh my gosh.
What? What a crazy thing. Like, nah. Stop giving me so much music, bro. It's infuriating. It's like, I don't want to listen to this yet. I want to get it all at once.
The thing is, there's a lot of people that aren't gonna care because they're not like us and they don't listen to.
They don't have
they
these
eat up
elite
singles.
music habits.
They eat up singles and they don't listen to albums.
Then I would say
they're just
music better.
Yeah, they're lowlifes. That was a joke, but
they're not elitists like us.
It's just the thing is, I know Tom's kind of like that, and I respect Tom's opinion. I respect his taste in music and stuff like that. Some people really do. They just digest stuff differently. Like my buddy Will, who did one of the intros like 4 or 5 episodes ago. It's really hard for him to listen to an album. Like, it kills me. But like last week when I was around him before he left to go home from college, he was sitting next to me, and he's listening to I don't remember what album it was, but he's listening to an album that I really like, and he's playing a song and skipping to about 1 minute and 20 seconds in, and he's like trying to find out if he likes the song, and I'm like, bro, just play the song. Listen to the whole song. Like, give it a chance. But this dude is like he's like skipping through parts. He's like, oh yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, this is a good song. And I'm like, Will, if you're listening to this episode,
I'm going to talk about a traumatizing experience.
I need you to stop. I love you, though. I love you, Will.
I'm going to discuss a traumatizing experience, right?
Okay, go ahead.
It is pretty... I've said it before. My favorite album of all time is Frank Ocean's Blonde. If that album was a person, I'd probably marry it. But So I recommended it to a friend. I was like,
Oh,
hey,
no.
this is literally my favorite album of all time. Hands down, no discussion. So, like, no pressure to like it, but just know, right? This is
Just know that I'll cry like a loser if you tell me it's bad.
Yeah, because it, like, regardless of what you think, it is that, like, to my friend, I'm like, you know, like, you can think it's not the best thing of all time, but it is. So just live knowing you're wrong. But, anyways, I didn't say that. But I was just like, hey, like, this is honestly my favorite album, and I think you will actually like it. And the person does. But I was like, all right. They're like, okay, I'm going to listen to it. I'm like, okay. And then, like, 10 minutes later, they snap me a picture, and they're listening to Siegfried. And I'm like, 10 minutes in? You're on the 15th song? What? And I was like,
man.
And then I was like, wait, how are you already, like, how are you already at the 15th song, bro? You started this, like, 10 minutes ago. And she was just like, oh, well, I just shuffled it.
Oh, no.
You what?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Bro,
you did. You did what with it? Yeah.
Bro,
you shuffled it!
One of my least favorite things in the world is when I'll click on an album. Like, I'll be listening to something on shuffle.
Also, wait,
like
no, real quick. I apologize if I just completely, like, deafened listeners.
You've already gotten pretty loud a couple of times.
I apologize. I'll try and compress my audio so I don't kill you guys. But look, when you're gonna shuffle Blonde on the first listen through, like, I bounce around Blonde sometimes, but, like, you know, the first time that's got to be a front.
Like you're trying to digest an album for the first time. You should probably just listen to it.
It's meant to be ordered.
Yeah. One of my least favorite things is, like, I'll be listening to a playlist on shuffle, or like sometimes my thing will just be on shuffle, and then I'll click on an album and my phone will still be on shuffle, and then I'm like, once the second song isn't the first song, then I'm like, hey, yo, can't have this.
Yep, I know that.
And so I'll turn off shuffle, and then I'll go to the second track, and then everything is right in the world. You know? Like,
also, sorry, now I'm thinking about Frank Ocean.
That's fine.
I'm going to talk about something I'm doing for school. I'm in an English class.
Right.
My grade 12 English class. I don't like it. Okay?
Okay.
I don't. Because everyone knows how English is, right? Everyone knows the teacher's views. And everyone knows if you don't agree with the teacher, you're going to get a bad mark. And my teacher's like I'm assuming you know the stereotype I'm talking about, right?
I've had teachers like that, but they weren't English teachers. I actually really liked my English classes.
Over here, we have the most, like, stereotypical English teachers.
Sure.
And so anyways, I have just lied this whole semester, right? Like, anytime there's an opinion-based thing, it's just like, what do I think my teacher wants to hear? And I just type that. But anyways, every now and then I have fun. And we had an assignment.
Oh, no. Every now and then I have fun.
I'm still not done it. Okay. I still have to tweak it a little bit. But I'll read you what I have so far. And here's the assignment. We had to write... what was it called? Our creative writing thing, whatever. So we had to write 1 to 2 pages about a certain thing. There were different topics we could choose from. And you have to use, like, literary and rhetorical devices. So, like, you know, rhetorical questions or, like, alliteration, and explain why you chose to do it, right? Whatever. No one cares about that part. But the assignment is, like, discuss one of these things and use 1 to 2 pages. Like, your proudest moment, your most embarrassing moment. There were a few others, but there was one that stuck out to me. And it was, like, what it's like to be ... And then, because it's an English class, right, she had some examples, and it's like, what it's like to live with social anxiety, and stuff like this. These were her examples. I'm like, deep.
Yeah.
And by the way, I say that I don't mean this to make fun of any of that stuff. I just mean, like, I'm reading this, and I'm like, this is a very, like, I've had my teacher for a few months. I know how she rolls, and I'm like, you would want to hear about, like, I'll probably get a fantastic mark if I say I have depression and tell you about it, but that'd be lying.
Yeah.
However, but it was like an open-ended one. I was like, well, I know what I'm going to do for this. I know what it's like to be a certain person. So I will now You'll find out what what my topic is, and I will read it to you.
Okay.
It's very poetic.
Okay.
Growing up, I gravitated towards challenges. I always assumed the most difficult position in anything. Playing hockey,
okay.
I was a goalie. Playing baseball, I was a pitcher. Cheering for hockey, the Edmonton Oilers. For some reason, it seems like I'm incapable of making things easy on myself. So with all of that in mind, it should come as no surprise that my taste in music is just as emotionally taxing as cheering for the Edmonton Oilers. Now you might be wondering, Evan, how can your music taste be emotionally taxing? After all, it's just music. It should entertain me. It should relieve my stress, not contribute towards it. So to answer the question I asked for you, why is my music taste at the root of my mental and emotional instability? That is because I am a Frank Ocean fan.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty
Okay.
no. It's pretty much a full-time occupation. I don't clock in because I never clock out. All 24 hours of all 7 days of all 52 weeks each year, I wait for anything our king, in brackets Frank, chooses to provide for us.
I don't clock in because I never clock out. That got me. I'm sorry. I wasn't. I thought that's really good.
I like that
really
line
good.
too. Sometimes I ask myself why I'm a Frank Ocean fan. I imagine how much easier life would be if I was a Drake stan. Every year, I would be able to sleep at night knowing an album is inevitably on the way. Or at the bare minimum, I will be able to go to sleep knowing he's still alive. The same cannot be said for Frank Ocean. Unless he is shot point blank on a busy public street, caught on several HD security cameras with thousands of witnesses, he could die, and us devoted Frank Ocean fans would never know. We've become so desensitized to abandonment. Our king will go silent for 5 months, show up to the Met Gala with a green baby prop, and then disappear without a trace for another 7 months. And then just like that, another entire year has gone by with no new music. It has been 6 years since the last Frank Ocean album. Donald Trump hadn't started his presidency. Closer by the Chainsmokers was the #1 song in the country. The group Brockhampton, I kind of kept everything rap central because it just fit. The group Brockhampton hadn't even formed yet. Fast forward to the present, and they just announced their final album before they separate. Frank Ocean has been gone for so long, entire groups have formed, flourished, and separated since his last drop. It's almost done. Now you might be wondering, Evan, why put yourself through this? Why do you still have hope? Why don't you just surrender and become a Drake stan? It's simple. Drake didn't make Self-Control. Before I proceed, I should clarify. I mean no disrespect to Jersey. I don't mean to undermine the brilliance of the man responsible for Passion Fruit, Race My Mind, Emotionless, Marvin's Room, etc. But Drake didn't drop Self-Control, or Nights, or Nikes. Drake didn't drop the greatest album of all time and then voluntarily pull it from Grammy eligibility just to make a statement. But Frank did. At this point, it's too late to turn around. Being a Frank Ocean fan is no longer a choice. It's a lifestyle. It is the foundation of my identity, and I take pride in that. Not just
You're having too much fun with this.
Yes, way too much fun. And I promise you, listeners, if you've fallen asleep, there's like 2 more sentences. Not just any average music enjoyer has what it takes to be a Frank Ocean fan. It requires more
average
patience.
Music enjoyer.
My friend gave me that word, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use that.
That's you're dipping into a little bit of meme culture right there.
Oh yeah.
Average music enjoyer.
Yeah. It requires more patience than anything else in this life. It requires a level of commitment and devotion beyond marriage. Being a Frank Ocean fan is no easy task, but I never expected it to be. As I said, I've never been one to take the easy route with anything, and my music taste is no different. That is what it's like to be a Frank Ocean fan. Whatever. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. That's actually really good, actually.
I have fun
hilarious.
in that class. I do have fun every now and then. But that's my
I really liked that, actually. I thought of something while you were reading that, and I was going to say it, and it's escaped my brain now, and now I feel like a dummy.
Oof.
Oh! I remember what I was going to say. You know, being a Frank Ocean fan, there's a decent amount of similarities to being a Josh Turner fan.
I mean,
they drop and by similarities, there's really only one. You drop a but
the thing is, right? Josh Turner's still kicking around. He's still dropping live albums and stuff.
That's why I said some. He still has a presence. He's still they're not the same person by any means. And the point that I was getting to is that
you want new Josh Turner.
I want a studio. I want an actually new album with new songs on it, please. That's all I want. That's all I need.
We do have fun here, but with that, I think we can move on to the one single, the most notable song over these last few weeks that we want to talk about. One I am so happy ended up getting released, and that is the new Morgan Wallen single, "Thought You Should Know," or single or just song. I think just song. The new Morgan Wallen song, "Thought You Should Know." You Proof is coming out on Friday. Oh well.
Yeah, and this one just came out too.
Yeah. Jeez. I hope it's building to an album, but
actually, before we talk about the song, because with him releasing 3 songs like this, do you think there's an album coming out and
I want to think that, and I forget if I threw that on my story.
Bro, if this man just dumps three singles in
within a
month and a half,
and then doesn't, I know, and the thing is, right, if the pre-releases are anything to expect from an album, this could be a really freaking good album.
Yeah. Actually.
Really good, because...
Look, bro, I was one of those people that downloaded Don't Think Jesus off of... The Instagram recording, I downloaded it off of YouTube. So I downloaded the downloaded version that somebody else had downloaded off of Instagram.
Just to listen to it.
and I just to listen to it, in the car and stuff like that. I couldn't even listen to it on Spotify. That's how much poverty I was willing to go through. I'm not your average music enjoyer.
Yeah, I mean,
what were you saying?
I was surprised when he said "Don't Think Jesus" was coming out. I was like, okay. We had Broadway Girls, but I mean that wasn't even released under his name, which I kind of like. And I was like,
yeah, it's not his song.
Okay, I can, "Don't Think Jesus." Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, Thought You Should Know's coming out," and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Wait.
Why are you just becoming why are you just making every right decision right now? What why are you just being goated?
It's actually funny. I think the order that he's releasing these songs in is the exact same order that he released the acoustic tracks.
Thought You Should Know was first.
I thought Don't Think Jesus was. No, you're right.
Thought You Should Know was first. In the song.
All right, the order wasn't the same, but they're the same songs that he released a couple months after
And he posted
the incident.
Yeah, and he posted a teaser of the new You Proof, and I will say, sounds much better than the original.
Yeah,
much better. So I'm excited.
I still need to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what the whole thing's about, but the teaser makes it sound.
Watch him drop an EP and then come out with an album with the EP in 3 months. The thing is, I'll say that, and in 4 months I'll hate myself because it's true. He's actually going to do that.
Don't
and I'm gonna
say
be
that, bro.
Livid. Yeah, I don't want him to do that, Morgan.
Please don't.
You're not listening to this.
Please, if you want to drop an album, if you want to drop an album of the year like it's trending to be right now, please do, because Thought You Should Know is stellar. I mean, I really don't know which of the two I prefer, Thought You Should Know or Don't Think Jesus, but oh my gosh, some people were saying it was overproduced. What do you mean?
They say that and they don't know what they mean to say is they don't like how different it sounds than a
phone recording.
Than the phone recording that he just played the guitar in. It's not overproduced.
It's so acoustic. It's so light. It's so... Yeah. I love it. I really like the little, what... Is that an electric guitar or a steel guitar?
I think that's a steel guitar, I believe.
I'm pretty sure it's a steel.
It goes just a little bit. And it's just in the background. It's
I think it adds a nice little drop of, just a little bit of flavor to it. Just spice it up a little bit.
I think that's a big thing. That's one of the biggest reasons why people are like, oh, it's overproduced. No.
What do you mean? It's
not. It's just... It's a normal... This is just how...
It's just a great song.
I think that's the one caveat to releasing songs before,
Yeah, is people... I mean, we've seen it with the Miranda Lambert
with Seven Summers is amazing, but then you had a bunch of, TikTok truck driving boys being like, this isn't real country. This isn't the song that I thought it was
Even
gonna
though
be.
the
Just
studio
shut up.
version's
Stop.
way more country than the tease.
But
it's like what we
I
saw
will
on
say,
the.
though-
Oh no, you go.
I will say that 4 thought you should know. I think if it was just a guitar, and it was, I think I'd like that a lot. Not that I don't like what we got. But
Yeah, I know
think
what
if
you
there
mean.
was if a studio recorded just him and a guitar, I think I could maybe like that more. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I would. But
It's one of those things where, like, you know, maybe he
It's
could
really
go
good.
more acoustic, but it's not like it's still a very acoustic song, and I still think it sounds great. But like you said, it's kind of like what we saw with Miranda Lambert's album that we just talked about. But it's like you hear the Marfa Tape songs, and then you hear them produced in a studio, and it's like I don't think any of these are overproduced. Like if I hadn't heard it before, I'd be like, wow, Waxahachie is a fantastic song. But because I've had a year to listen to the Marfa Tapes version, which is fully acoustic around a campfire, it's like I kind of prefer that vibe, and I've become accustomed to that vibe. And the same kind of applies where it's like, although, you know what, I think it's tough to say. I think Thought You Should Know, I think he nailed it. I don't think that he could have done a whole lot better. Like, it's about as...
I don't
have any
disagree with that
complaints.
statement. I'd have to hear. My thing is, I've listened to that acoustic phone recording so many times that is what I was used to.
Yeah.
And I think hearing a studio version of him and just a guitar could be really good. But like I said, I don't need that. I just think it would be interesting to hear.
We're harping on it.
That's
but
probably not ever gonna.
I think it's a fantastic song. That I don't know how he hits that note at the start of the chorus to just go from nothing to that, but you know what? I guess he's vocally built different, but I think it's catchy as all.
And if you ask all the Instagram white girls, he's physically built different too, you know.
Yeah,
Bro,
not saying
wait,
that.
actually, sorry. I just had to. I know that was a joke that I just said, but it's 100% true. But one time in the in his video when he covered "Cover Me Up" before, I think it was the Taste of Country YouTube video before he ever released his own version. I remember reading the comments, and a girl had said something like, "His forearm hair is so hot," and I was like, is this
Is what?
Somebody's girlfriend is out here wilding on the YouTube comment section,
Over
and
forearm hair.
y'all, come get her, she's over here. Somebody come get her, help her out, man. It cracked me up, bro. I was like, hey yo, what are you gonna do to my man when you get a hold of his forearm hair? Like, come on now.
Oh my
All right.
goodness.
But anyway, song is good.
Song is great.
Song is good.
10 out of 10 would recommend. And for everyone's sake, I think we are going to move on to everyone's favorite segment.
I almost just spat out the water. I
could tell. Anyways, I've got this random question. Jaron, what are you listening to?
Funny you should ask that.
Ah.
Because I'm listening to an album that you told me that you hated.
Uh-oh. And that's what you're bringing.
And it's actually funny. Yeah, that's what I'm going to bring because I actually think it's a good album. It's funny. This is
no pressure now.
This is another album. Okay, sorry. This is another album by a person whose album I had previously brought like a couple months ago. And you probably maybe have an idea of who this is.
Not really.
Do you have a guess, actually? Not really? You don't have a
No.
guess? Okay. This is 5 Seconds Flat by Lizzie McAlpine.
Oh.
So, little background. This album came out about a month ago, I believe. And I remember a week or two before it came out, I was like, oh, hey, Evan, I know you also liked that Lizzie McAlpine album that we talked about on the pod.
I still
it's a really good album.
I love that album.
Check it out. It is
Give Me a Minute.
A very good album.
It's a fantastic album.
Yeah, it is. And so I was like, hey, Evan, this one's coming out. And when it came out finally, I remember listening to it. And I was like, this is different. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it. And then Evan straight up was like, dog, I hate this thing. This is horrible.
I wonder if I can find my text.
You could.
I'm going to try and swipe up and find the text.
Look for it while I talk. But it's funny because as I've listened to this album, I will say it's not as good as Give Me a Minute. But I think it's almost as good. Hey, shut up. This is my... Okay, just go ahead.
So I said...
Go ahead.
I texted him Wednesday, April 20th. Also, off topic, but I got like 2/3 through the new Lizzie album, and it pains me to say, but it sucks. At least the first 2/3, just not good. And then Jaron said, wow, I didn't think it was as good as the one before, but I didn't think it was that bad. And then what did I say? An ego thing, which is a name of one of the songs. An ego thing makes you want to drop kick an infant. Ceilings is solid, though.
I forgot you said that.
Granted, I still have to listen to the last leg, but man, that first bit wasn't it for me.
Okay, look. Let me actually talk about this album because you're just trashing it.
Look, and I haven't gone back to it. I won't lie to you.
You only listened to it once, right?
I've gone back to Ceilings a few times, but I didn't like it, so I haven't really revisited it much.
Okay, that's interesting.
I've gone back to Give Me a Minute multiple times since 5 Seconds Flat came out, but I just haven't gone back to 5 Seconds.
Yeah, okay, so let's just set some ground rules for this relationship with this album. It's edgier and less. I don't want to say innocent. Less. Like Taylor Swifty, OG Taylor Swifty.
No,
that makes sense. It's less happy-go-lucky.
Saying it.
This
is like the.
It's more angsty. Yeah.
This is like the Reputation of Lizzie's.
Yeah. Except this is better than Reputation. Don't even talk to me about Reputation. Miss me with that.
Cyrus is in the chat.
Yeah, I don't care. Anyway, I love. Do you not? Okay, so the title track I think is like. Really good. Like I really like Doomsday. No? Like what do you? Because it doesn't even feel that different.
No,
like, well, it feels more.
No. So if my memory serves me correct, sorry, Doomsday is not that bad.
Okay.
But man, I'm trying to call back because it's been like a few weeks. But I just remember an ego thing. The production on that actually made me like. I was walking my dog and I was like, I'm getting physically upset listening to this. And then it never got better with like the Jacob Collier song, and then All My Ghosts. I was like, what's going on? Reckless Driving. I get what it's going for lyrically. But it's just.
Okay. I can see the production maybe being a bit. I don't think it's that.
It doesn't abrasive. Work for me. The production does not work for me. Like, because Lizzie on her first album, she had like it was very acoustic, very.
Oh, for sure. It is
very dreamy, very soft.
Yeah.
And it's not that softness isn't lost. It's still at its core these acoustic little songs with her like breathy vocals, and then we're just gonna slap some like freaking weird, heavy, sharp sounds that don't match anything, and we're gonna call it a song. And it's like, I don't know. Look, this is what you're listening to, so I'm not gonna cut in too much. But
yeah, he says that, but he's the one who's been talking for the past 5 minutes.
You asked me to.
I know. I'm kidding. Look, okay, I don't completely disagree with that, but I guess it works for me, and I would disagree with calling it sharp. I think it's just more in your face. It's definitely louder and just like there's more drums sometimes. Like in Reckless Driving, the very end of that song, it really kind of like it's almost like stressful.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's supposed to be. That's the point of the song.
And I don't mind that part.
And yeah, and then at the very very end, it just cuts off. Yeah, I don't. I really. I'm gonna be honest.
I will be honest. I forgot that. Was a thing. The end of Reckless Driving. But now I remember this, and I do remember listening and saying, like, okay, that was cool. The way it all built up and then just stops, obviously because the song is about, like, potentially getting in a car crash.
It's
a weird love
really
song.
Cool.
It's a weird...
It's really cool.
But, that's why I say, like, I get what it's going for lyrically, but I do really like that outro. I thought that was clever.
Okay, let me just talk about my standouts, because this is what are we listening to at this point. It's just an album review of this album.
Yeah, no, but, do your thing.
Yeah.
I need to stop.
Orange Show Speedway is the closer, and I think it's probably my favorite song on this album. It's just really good. I love throwing this album on. I still do the same thing with this album that I do with Give Me a Minute. I'll throw it on when I'm reading, or I'll throw it on when I'm playing a video game, or I'll just throw it on when I'm doing whatever. Even though it is a little bit more stressful in nature and sound, it's still at its core, like Evan said, it's still very much this breathy acoustic, calming, quiet album. Reckless Driving, I think, is a standout. I like Erase Me a decent amount. I don't hate an Ego Thing. I know that one was the one that, like, told me that you wanted to drop kick an infant. Which
I would never do for legal purposes.
Yeah, he says that. No, but... And Doomsday, I don't know. I think I feel similarly about... Okay, let's put it like this. Let's talk in terms of Midland. You like On the Rocks. It's like top 3 album, right, for you?
Yes.
Across all genres.
Yes.
And then when you compare On the Rocks to Life Roll... Wait,
Let It
not
Roll.
Life Rolls On.
Let It Roll.
That's the Let It Roll. I started to say Life Rolls On is a much worse album. Let It Roll, when you compare it to that, Let It Roll's really good. But it just falls short, right? Would that be an accurate...
Yeah, I still think the world of Let It Roll. I think it's an incredible album.
Okay. That's how I feel with Give Me a Minute and 5 Seconds Flat. I think Give Me a Minute is my On the Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 Seconds Flat is my Let It Roll. I can maybe look, I would just encourage you to try to listen to it again. Maybe skip Ego Thing if that's the one that really turned... Like, okay, because, look, I don't even know... The fact that you hated it this much, like, did you even listen to Orange Show Speedway? Maybe I just like that one
I didn't get all the way through.
Oh, okay, well, listen, at least... Okay, look,
I got, 8 or 9 songs through. I'll go at it with a clear mind and skip an Ego Thing and tell you how it goes.
Well, okay, if you're gonna do it, just at least go all the way through it. But
I'll listen to Orange Speedway.
At least listen to Orange Show Speedway and Hate to Be Lame, featuring Phineas. Those 2 songs, those are like the 2 that if you didn't listen to them on the first one, listen to them.
Okay.
But Doomsday and Orange Show Speedway, just give them a shot.
Give them another chance,
guys. Don't let. I would encourage you guys to give this a shot.
Maybe my opinion will change. Maybe I was just feeling angry that day.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Evan feels... What?
I was going to say, my thoughts on an Ego Thing probably won't change.
Yeah, we'll see. Probably not. But Evan feels... It sounds like Evan feels similarly about this album that I did with Wildcard by Miranda Lambert. But then I just listened to it again a year later, and I was like, oh, "This is amazing."
Maybe 5 Seconds
I'm not saying you're gonna do that.
Become one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're gonna do that.
Unlikely, but
judging from the fact that you'd be willing to kick an infant, I don't know if you'll come around on this album. But anyway,
we'll see.
I personally really like this album, and I would recommend you guys check it out. If you did check out Give Me a Minute and you liked that, check this one out, because you'll probably maybe like it, but maybe the production will turn you off. Who knows? Whatever.
We'll have to see.
Kill me. Sue me. I don't care.
So I have an album I've been listening to, and you know what? It's an album I never thought I would like, because I generally kind of just hate on this group because it's fun to hate on them. And then one of the songs came on when I was just like shuffling through like recommended songs, like of a playlist Apple made for me. I was like, dang, this is a banger. And then I went and checked out the album. I was like, dang, there's bangers. And I kind of like, there was also a few I knew, but I forgot.
Dang!
And it is Old Dominion's 2017 album, Happy Endings. It is the album that had a lot of their biggest hits, Written in the Sand, Hotel Key, and No Such Thing as a Broken Heart. I think No Such Thing as a Broken Heart is an absolute bop, and I will stand by that. I love that song.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So, I too have had mixed feelings about Old Dominion. I do enjoy No Such Thing as a Broken Heart. I hate Hotel Key. I don't like it.
I don't have anything against it, but it was definitely overplayed.
And I think Shoe Shopping is a sleeper.
I was just going to say Shoe Shopping, but yeah.
I put Shoe Shopping on my story with like a picture of a sunset like a week ago, I
remember that.
And then like in the same day, I think you also put an Old Dominion song on your
I think
story.
I was first, not to claim it, but unless it was a coincidence.
Yeah, no, that's a lie.
I think I was first.
I'm just kidding. I'm
because it was definitely before a sunset. But anyways, the two songs that I've been listening to like so much. I mean, New York at Night is pretty cool, but there's two specific songs that like I have been listening to so much. Like if I could, like the Receiptify or whatever, where you're able to like get a receipt of your most listened to songs on Spotify. If that was available for Apple, honestly, Stars in the City and Still Writing Songs About You would probably be some of my most listened to songs recently. I've been going back to those two songs so much. They are so smooth. Stars in the City literally makes me feel like I'm driving a spaceship. Like, but in a country way. Like, it's not like some techno... Hold on. It's not like some
what's that one? What's
pop
that one
disaster. It's like it's just
what's
so
that one
smooth.
Tim McGraw song?
Chevy
like...
Spaceship. It's not like that. Stars in the City is so smooth. You just feel like you're floating. Still Writing Songs About You. Oh, I don't know what it is about it, but those two songs.
I'll do it. Evan. Okay, jeez.
Have just been hitting so hard. And Still Writing Songs About You, I think it's like lyrically, I think it's a pretty interesting song because he's basically saying like, I'm an artist. I should be able to write songs about anything. I should find inspiration everywhere. Like, I've experienced all these crazy things. I've traveled the world. I should have so much to write about, but I'm still writing songs about you. And then there's like the line before the second chorus where he's like, I'm stuck on a line because I know what rhymes with blue. And then the chorus comes right in with like, you on a sun. And it's like, they're so catchy. So catchy. They sound so good. It's like Midland, holy frick. It's like Old Dominion as good as they can get. Like, it's got great energy. It's that like smooth, inoffensive sound, but not to a point where it's bland. And those two songs, Stars in the City and Still Writing Songs About You, but I've naturally been listening to like the whole album, and I do think there are more decent songs than I originally thought, because like I said, it's kind of fun to clown on Old Dominion, especially when they sweep every award show for absolutely nothing. But yeah, bro. Happy Endings by Old Dominion. That's what I've been listening to.
They consistently rob Midland and Brothers Osborne
every time
of awards. And look, I don't hate Old Dominion, but I also don't think that they're better than
I
Brothers
naturally
Osborne
am just against them because
Midland.
of what they've done to my boys, my Gator boys.
The sins they've committed.
Yeah.
The crimes against better music.
Except for, I tell you what though, Stars in the City, Still Writing Songs About You, if they have more songs like that, I'd be like, okay, I'm on board.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Shoe Shopping ever since my buddy Zach showed it to me about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. It's one of my favorite songs to listen to at night or like when I'm driving. I just really like it. It's a vibe. Anyway, yeah.
That's what we've been listening to.
It is what we've been listening to. Oh, wait, really quick. All My Ghosts by Lizzie McAlpine is also very good off of her newest album. Anyway, Evan, you ready to guess who the frick? You ready to guess
who the freak? Yes, it is time for Jaron's game. Who the frick? Where? He has some artists lined up. He has some facts pulled from their Wikipedia page. And he is going to tell me the facts, and I have 3 guesses.
Yeah.
To guess who it is, they will progressively get harder. We have 3 artists. Play along wherever you are. And yeah, let's run it.
Yeah. All right. Let's just jump right into it.
Let's just do it, man.
All right. So this one. Okay. I think you can get this one. I think you can. This artist is a member of the Grand Ole Opry. I just said Grand Ole Opry. It's Grand Ole Opry, not Grand Old. Sorry. They have also won 3 Grammy Awards, 14 Academy of Country Music Awards, 14 Country Music Association Awards, and 2 American Music Awards.
That is a decent resume.
Yeah. So this person has probably
pretty
been
well
around for just a
accomplished.
little
I'm
while.
thinking like award shows, people that award shows like. Because I don't really know a time period yet. But naturally, I'm just thinking like more recent. Someone that has like a repeat winner, someone that gets a lot of wins. And I mean, Old Dominion get all kinds of like awards, but I'm not going to guess them.
That's true, but I'm just trying to help you think. This person or persons, because it could be a group. I didn't say if it was or not. But they've won 3. This person has won 3 Grammy Awards. So, like, do you think Old Dominion's done that? Is, I guess, the question you might want to ask yourself.
I don't think so. Has Miranda Lambert won? I think she has. But I don't know how many. I've got a few names, but you know what?
Oh, I forgot to time you. 10 seconds.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just throw it out there. First guess, Miranda Lambert.
That is incorrect, but I will say that's a good guess. I would say it's close in terms of notoriety.
Okay.
Okay. Next guess. Next clue, I mean.
I was going to say, hold on, I need another clue.
This artist has co-written 2 books. That's
what?
Yeah.
2 books?
Yeah. Uh-huh. I figured that this clue wouldn't help you, but I have to go with some pretty vague clues sometimes. Yeah, it is.
When you say Miranda, or when you said Miranda was like, ballpark, that just instantly Carrie comes to mind. But I feel like
I don't think too well.
I feel like
I would also put Carrie is also in that ballpark. I'm not saying that Carrie is or isn't this person, but it would be. Don't necessarily just think female though. Don't like. It could. I don't want you to get caught on.
Yeah,
on
no, I'm not.
gender.
I'm trying to think. Who could I? What country musicians could I see sitting down and writing a book? And oh man. Holy crap. I'm fumbling.
Time just ran out. Go ahead and guess.
Oh man, I'm completely.
I forgot to warn you.
Thomas Rhett.
No.
Oh man, I completely fumbled that.
I will say, think higher standard. Like you've got higher standard, better quality.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, last clue. This one should help you out a lot more. A person from another genre famously covered one of this artist's songs in a live stream fundraiser.
Oh, okay. So now it's down to 2. But because I'm pretty sure you're referencing Post Malone here, which is fresh in my mind from the Midland Review. Well, I mean, naturally, I think of like when Post Malone played Brad Paisley and Sturgill Simpson, but
sure.
Oh, but which one is it? I'm gonna have to take a 50-50 because like I feel like they both won Grammy. I feel like Sturgill has more Grammys.
Think about. Okay.
Like you said, they had 3 Grammys, right?
Do you want me to I'll restate the awards that they've won. If you
I
want
feel
me
like
to.
Sturgill has a lot of Grammys.
You have 10 seconds. Do you want me to restate the awards that they've won?
No, I think I'm good. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Oh man, if I get, on the basis that I think
second.
Sturgill has more Grammys, I'm gonna say Brad Paisley.
That would be correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no clue that Brad has co-written 2 books.
Yeah, but I can see it.
He wrote one in 2003, I think, and then one in 2011.
Like what kinds of books?
One was just like the second one was just kind of like story. I think both of them are just kind of like stories and life lessons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Josh Turner has one too. I have it.
I was gonna say you 100% have it.
I do. It's a good book. But anyway, let us continue on.
It helps that Post Malone thing's like fresh in my mind from the Midland.
Yeah, I knew that one. I knew that you were gonna have a hard time with it. Until the thing is, with artists, people know so many things about artists that you have to find things that aren't gonna immediately give it away. All right, next artist. Sorry, I had to burp right there. This artist took an interest in hip-hop music at an early age, citing the Space Jam soundtrack in a compact disc of Eminem songs given to him by a friend as his main influences.
Ernest.
Correct.
I've heard that story before.
I knew.
As soon as you said that, I was like, wait, I've heard this. I've heard this story.
I figured I should have saved that one for that question.
What were your other
last,
clues?
But
what were your other clues?
I was kind of banking on you forgetting who it was.
Especially since
That's fine.
During the Ernest review, I kind of got lost researching him a little bit. So I kind of read about it. What were your other 2 hints you had?
You probably know all this stuff. I knew this one would be easy. That's why because this Ernest was originally going to be the 3rd artist, but then I looked at the facts and then I was like, this is going to be easier than the other one that I have. So the other one, at age 19, they suffered a heart attack brought on by viral infection, developed a drug addiction while in college playing basketball. And then the last one was in 2019, this artist toured with Mason Ramsey and Chris Lane. I had to think of some things that I should have saved the first clue.
The first clue would have been the giveaway there.
But I was banking on you forgetting, and so I was going to hope to maybe catch you.
Well, I don't forget, man.
Catch you lacking. But
that was a clean.
That's not true.
That was cold from me. I came in, no hesitation.
That was good.
Can I get this? Can I get the sweep though? Because I'm now gonna sit here like a freaking
we'll see.
Sack of potatoes while you read out.
I feel like this one might get you.
I'm gonna go from the highest high to the lowest low.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay, here I'm gonna do. Okay. I'm gonna put my first clue for this person. I'm gonna do that as the last one because I yet again think that might be the best clue. So let's do this. This artist was born in Hannah, South Carolina. They grew up in church and founded a gospel quartet called Thankful Hearts, where they sang bass in addition to singing bass and baritone parts in choirs.
Oh, South Carolina. Who grew up in Carolina? I mean, I think... Ooh, wait. I think I might have a really good guess here, actually. Because when you're saying they would sing baritone in a choir, and they were in the church in Carolina, I'm going to go Jeopardy style. Who is Scotty McCreery?
False. You thought you had it. I thought you had it, bro. I thought
I had a really good guess there. I was like,
that is a okay. No, I can't. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop talking. All right, next.
Especially the baritone part. I was like, hey, wait, this makes so much sense.
This artist. Oh, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm on your tail.
Yeah,
I'm hot on your trail.
You'll probably get this one. This artist's second studio album was nominated for Best Country Album at the 49th Annual Grammy Awards.
49th. What was that?
I don't know. If you don't know, then you don't know. You better not be looking it up right now.
I don't know. I don't know what the Grammys are on. I feel like they're on like the 55th or something, right? So that's like 6 years ago. Like the 2016, 17 range. Nominated for a Grammy.
I would love to help you, but I will not. Because
nominated for a Grammy or won the Grammy? Sorry.
They were nominated.
For Country Album of the Year. Their second album. From Carolina. That's where it gets tough. Because that should narrow it down a lot.
I was really banking on you not knowing a whole lot about this person.
I don't know who else from Carolina. Like, I think Luke Combs is from Carolina. But
I think that's correct.
But I don't...
There's a lot of country artists that are from the Carolinas.
Don't say that, because I can only think of a few right now. You're making me feel bad.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. At the 49th Grammy.
I forgot to set a timer, but you got to guess.
Yeah, I do have to guess, but I don't really have a guess. Cole Swindell's Georgia, isn't he? And we already
just throwing out. Yeah.
Cole Swindell.
Yeah, he's from Georgia.
But he's Georgia.
Nope. All right, last one. I'm gonna be really happy if you don't get this.
I'm not. Fun fact.
This artist got a huge boost in their career when they played a song at the Grand Ole Opry, and their debut at the Grand Ole Opry. I forgot to mention that. After they played their song for the crowd, they were asked for an encore. Since the band had only practiced one song, they played that song again for the encore.
Oh, I feel like I've heard something like this before.
Oh, you probably have. Oh. Let me set a timer. Okay.
No. But they only played one song. Because they only had one. Who is that? Eric Church is from Carolina. But
he is.
I feel like for a third person, I feel like that's too big. Like I feel like I would know. They only knew one song. Crap.
20 seconds left.
Oh man.
10 seconds.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there, even though I think it's wrong. Luke Combs.
Go ahead. That is incorrect.
Who was it?
Would you like to hear the answer?
Yes.
Josh Otis Turner. Bro.
Because now it's all coming back. It was shoot.
Yeah.
What was the song he played again? It was
Long Black Train. Was a song he wrote in college, and he played it at the Grand Ole Opry. And
so what year of Grammy are we on?
So you were thinking that we're much later than you thought we were, because the 49th was 2006.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that threw me off badly. I thought we were on like the...
I wasn't going to say anything because I was winning. So
what Grammy is this year? Oh, we're on the 64th. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I thought we were on like the 50th or like the 52nd or 3rd. So I was like, okay, is this kind of recent?
I will say though, look,
I should have got it off that last clue though. That should have clicked, but I was too dead set on recent. I was way too set on that for no reason.
I was worried that you were going to get it, but then when you said that you thought that we were pretty recent, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything because I'm winning now. Yeah, I will say, although other great albums came out in 2006, I stand by the fact that Your Man is one of the best albums that came out during the 2000s, and it should have won in 2006.
Who won over it again?
I'm trying to remember. Best Country Album Grammys nomination. Grammy Awards. Why am I having so much trouble finding it? It was Alison Krauss and Union Station. Look, I also love... Wait, hold up.
Research Jaron is being baffled.
Okay, I found a... Okay, that's Okay, maybe I accidentally put the wrong year? That's weird. This other Wikipedia page is listing Your Man in the 2007 year. Either way, it's around you wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, no, I was way off.
I don't know. I think it was. Oh well, the album came out in 2006, and it was probably up for the 2007 Grammys. Yeah. So that would make sense. Dixie Chicks, Taking the Long Way album won, and it was up against Alan Jackson, like on a Red Rose, Little Big Town, The Road to Here, and Willie Nelson, You Don't Know Me, The Songs of Cindy Walker. And look, those aren't bad albums, but Your Man is...
It's not Your Man.
Your Man is iconic.
It is. It definitely is the most iconic of the ones.
Look, and I know I'm biased, but I just think that album is just so strong.
No, I actually...
And I know that's just... I don't... Have you listened to it? Like, all the way?
Yeah.
You probably have.
Yeah.
But man, it's just so good. Okay. But so, yeah. I'm a Josh Turner fan, so I'm always going to take his side, so.
You should write an essay about it. But,
Oh, I have. Oh, about him not winning? No, I haven't done that. But I've written essays about him.
That's incredible.
Or with him.
That's all I could ask for. Anywho... Thank you once again for tuning in to today's episode of Waves on the Shore. If you've made it to the end, as always, you are the best of the best, and we appreciate you dearly.
Ka-chow.
What?
Ka-chow.